But first, so the NBA season started last night. Boston Celtics bludgeon the New York Knicks by a final score of 132-109. I'll get to the Knicks side of things in just a second, but really, the good side moving forward to the Knicks is not even the bad side of the Celtics, just the bad side of the game and what I think could happen for the Celtics moving forward. So, folks, you may not know who these people are. Alan Turing, John McCarthy, Herbert A. Simon. You've probably never heard of these people in your life. They basically created AI. And they were revolutionary in their field. That's putting it mildly. In the 1950s, creating AI. Basically, Alan Turing was the guy who physically created it. John McCarthy deemed it artificial intelligence. I feel like that's what my Golden State Warriors did. I feel like Alan Turing and John McCarthy are Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, revolutionizing the game with three-point shooting. And now the Boston Celtics are these tech companies nowadays just abusing AI and stealing people's jobs. Let's be honest. That's what AI is for. That's what I felt watching this game last night. So the Boston Celtics, first of all, shout out Jason Tatum, dropping 37 and 10, 14 of 18 for the field, 8 for 11 from three-point range. He was helped by his partner in crime, Jaylen Brown, who chipped in 23. Derek White had 24. The Celtics were fantastic on ring night, even better than I think even Celtics fans could have imagined. But Boston, 29 of 61. 61 attempts from three-point range. The Celtics actually tied the NBA record for made three-pointers. Ended up missing their final 13 attempts in efforts to break that record, to hit 30 threes in a game, which no team in NBA history has ever done. I'm watching this. I'm like, this is because I feel like in a way, the Celtics, this is going to sound so sacrilegious and Celtics fans are going to kill me for this, but whatever. The Celtics aren't great for the NBA in the sense that clearly they're the best team in basketball. They showed that all of last year, all of the postseason a year ago, smoking Dallas, who I thought Dallas could win that series. Boston put it into that in the blink of an eye in the finals, and they're clearly the favorites to win the title this year. But they have a superstar in Jason Tatum, a tremendous co-star Jaylen Brown, and a great group of ancillary, in some cases the case of Derek White, all-star level talent surrounding them. But they don't have that dude. They don't have face of the league guy. Much as I love Jason Tatum and have defended him over the years, that's not his MO. Well, the Celtics can't be, if the NBA wants to, if they want their champion to be somewhat interesting, it's kind of what the struggle with the Spurs. The difference is the Spurs at least had Tim Duncan. The problem is he didn't care for much for the media. The NBA can't have their best team be a great collection of talent with a superstar, but not a face of the league guy. Not even the best. The best players in the world are from the world, not from the United States or from other countries around the world, not in the United States. Tatum's got to be the best American player for them to be captivating, and he's not. We saw that in the Olympics clearly. They can't be that, and in the same sense, they play an unbelievably boring brand of basketball. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. Now, to their credit, they're really good at it. Okay, we know Tatum, with his revamped jump shot, which looks far cleaner, doesn't have quite the hitch they used to have. Tatum's always been a good perimeter shooter. I imagine this will be his best three-point shooting year. We know Jaylen Brown can knock it down. Derek White's an elite three-point shooter. Al Horford can knock it down. Kristaps Porzingis, when he's healthy, can knock it down as well. Just look down the roster. Drew Holiday can hit threes. A lot of guys that Celtics can open jumpers from the outside. But that's basically their offense. Now, they're great at it. That's not to say they're not great at it. That's not to say they're not probably the single best team in the world at doing so. But it ain't great for the league. If you're going to play a boring brand of basketball in shooting in an unholy amount of three-pointers, a disproportionate to the rest of the league, you got to have that it factor, that superstar. Tatum's a superstar, but that guy who is the clear face of the league, or an absolute lock MVP candidate year in and year out, and Tatum flatly is not. That's Jokic, that's Luka, that's SGA, that's Ant Edwards. It was Stephen LeBron as recently as 5 years ago, KD to a lesser degree. Those are the guys we're looking at as potential MVP candidates. Heck, I wouldn't be shocked if Wemby got an MVP before Jason Tatum got one. And so I guess on the other side, if you're the Knicks, well, they're not going to, the Celtics, you imagine, aren't going to shoot that well from three moving forward. Now, are they going to continue to rain in from outside? Are the Celtics, I imagine, going to lead the league in threes made and threes attempted? Probably so. That's the way the game has changed. The analytics say you should shoot a lot of threes. The Celtics, to their credit, take advantage of that. And again, by the way, I'm not knocking them for this. I'm simply saying for the sake of the NBA, for the viewing product, for the fans, it's not great. It's not great for the rest of the league. And so, listen, kudos to Boston. I was so funny. I was doing the 8 o'clock spot last night. Shout out to the 8 o'clock spot game show on the Grid Network every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And as soon as we finished that show, because we started at 8, so that's 30 minutes in the games. The game's relatively tight in the first quarter. I pull out my phone. I'm like, holy crap. It was like 83-57 or something like that. Celtics. So I don't think it's the end of the world for the Knicks. They just now traded for Karl-Anthony Towns. Again, the Villanova guys with Brunson, with Mikal Bridges, DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart, like they had that connection. They had that camaraderie and the chemistry to be able to get the job done. Cat is going to take a little bit of time to work him back in or work him into their lineup. We'll see what happens. I think the Knicks will be fine. I think they're the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they have the talent, clear talent, to be the second best team in the East. I simply don't think they'll do that because the way Tom Thibodeau coaches, he's going to run his players into the ground. I think the Magic actually are going to meet the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But kudos to Boston. They know what they want to be. There's a lot of teams that don't. Like Boston's a talented team that has a clear identity. Those teams are scary. Those teams are dangerous.